Hello everyone, I have little tutorials today for you that is a bit different, and it was a question up in my Facebook group and someone was talking about how to connect to spirit. And one of the easiest way is with this mat. This is my alphabet charm mat, and I do actually have a whole course on this mat where you get to learn so much more than just numbers as timing and alphabet as person, place or thing, and we go right into the whole very depths of that in the course. And when you purchase this mat, you actually get 50% off the actual course. But the nutshell version, if you are using this mat and you are looking at talking to people who've crossed over, you use a pendulum. And the first thing you do is, well, if you know how to use pendulum, work out your yeses and nos and so on. And you would start in the eye, which is this eye of the dragon, that's where the power base is. And you would ask it, is spirit here today? That tells you first and foremost if spirit's in the room, yes or no. Then you've got, are you female? Are you male? Are you older? Are you young? And so on. And once you get your series of questions, you then scatter your charms to say, well, what is the information you want me to know today? And that's just a very simple way, and a lot of people prefer it that way. And if you've got clients, because it is very tactile and nice to see clients involved, that mat actually comes with a little pendulum, little spoon, with a teapot. And like I said, basics are all in that mat, but there is a course. But what I wanted to show you today was how to speak to spirit using a teacup and a pendulum. Now, I'm running two cameras here, so I'm hoping you'll get both angles of it. And I'm just going to sit down so I have a steady elbow and go through what this is about. Now, first thing is, I've made my tea, I've drank most of it, got a little bit there to spin, and we are using a pendulum. Now, I love this pendulum because my brother made it, number one, and the timber is it's wood, and it's actually King Billy pine, and the brass he's also turned metal out of an old garden tap or garden faucet for the people in the USA. And I just love it. Perhaps it's the energy, because the timber is an actual recycled timber out of a house that was over 100 years old, that was the windowsills. And I just love it. So King Billy pines, rainforest timber now. So the first thing is with a pendulum, some people will hold it between their thumb and finger like that. And the very first thing is, and I actually think it's better to hold it like that between your fingers, because sometimes if you do shake, it may literally form its own pattern. And funny enough though, lots of people say, oh, you have to have a steady hand, a steady arm. First thing is, put your elbow down to the table. I see, people with Parkinson's that do pendulum readings quite accurately, because that's just the energy they are, and regardless of Parkinson's, it still can give yeses and nos. So the first thing you need to do is decipher your yes and no's. And the easiest one is hold it over your hand and first work out and say, what is my yes? Now my yeses are anti-clockwise, which will spin. So stop. It's like on command. Hold it that way. So we don't yet. Okay, hang on. Stop. So what is my no? And my no's are anti-clockwise. My inconclusives or not sure's will swing either vertical or horizontal. So, and once you've deciphered that, hold out your hand and ask it and say, is my name Karin? And I've got anti-clockwise, which is my yes. Is my name Linus? No. So it's telling me the truth. So we go through a series first, and you make sure you're in a good frame of mind, still, no kids running around, no dogs barking. You can light candles, meditate, music, use singing bowls to get in the zone. It's whatever's comfortable for you. So the very first thing is you need to ask, is there spirit present with me today? And I'm getting little anti-clockwise, which is my yes. Okay, they're small. So there's probably not a lot of information when they're small. So then I ask it questions. Are you female? And I get no. Okay, stop. Are you male? Yes. Well, I suppose there's the in-between too, when we can be, what's the words, the LGBTQ community. So, but it's what sex you define as, and also the people who've crossed over, what sex they define themselves as. So this tells me I've got a male spirit in this room, which doesn't surprise me. So I then ask, are you old? And I'm getting really wee no's. Okay. So the only young male in spirit to me would be my brother. So, is this Shannon? And I get a yes. So you first work out who the spirit is, and you'd go through and ask questions like, are you male? Are you female? Are you old? Are you young? Are you family? Are you friend? Did you pass a long time ago, or did you pass recently? And until you get that narrowed down of, okay, is this Auntie Joan or Uncle Jack? And you keep going your yeses, nos, until you define who it is you're talking to. So the very next step then is, with your cup of tea, you drink your tea, and we go through and we swirl, trip and drain. This is my lovely hellebore teacups. Love it because of that deep dark purple. It's just gorgeous. I'm using fortune teller teacup. You can use a plain teacup if you know how to read plain teacups. Fortune teller teacups, just make it simple. And it doesn't require huge amounts of skill. So we always knock a cup. It's just the superstitions that I grew up with. And here we go. So with a fortune teller teacup, because the symbol's already in there, we tend to read what symbols the tea lands on. So, and it's interesting, like I've got tea here, but it's not touching any symbol there. And you can skip that and not read it at all. You've got tea here, a little bit on the lion and a wee bit on the tip of the bird. Now, me being a tea reader of traditional leaves and blank teacups is I can't help myself but actually read the tea itself. And when you're reading a cup, you read it as a whole. So we don't look at a time intention. We look at this to say, what's the message do you have for me today? And that's coming from the spirit world of my late brother. So here I've got is a megaphone, which tells me it's like he's screaming in my ear, which is shout outs. Here we've got tea on the lion. It's actually a bird. Now, lion is about my strength, my stamina, my courage, take the stance. And it's got a bird on it. So it tells me there's information and things that I need to take a stand on and literally shout it out. We've also got here, it's actually like a big person striding, a big walking step, and they've got it's like they're taking a big jump. And a stride or a big step forward there would tell me the same thing or very similar, is there's good news and information where I do need to stand to attention and literally progress forward. I've also got here an arrowhead pointing to the bird, and birds are chatter or messengers. Very rare does a bird ever carry bad news. And that with the arrow here would tell me it's time to literally open my mouth and spit it out of what I want to do and where I am stepping forward. I'm not going to let you in on that, but soon to be unveiled, but I know what that means to me. And it's interesting that my late brother, it's basically shouting out to me that this is going to be a very good step forward for me and all the chatter to commence and begin. We've even got here, it's like a tiny little flag, and flags, I'll just show you from there, and flags mean ultimate success. So that's how you define messages from people who have passed. And they can be as simple as that. Or they can be a whole cup full of leaves where you've got a lot of complexities and a lot of information that you need to know from the loved ones who've crossed over. So thanks for joining me today, and I hope that helps a little bit. Bye for now.